So we have discussed time scaling operation on discrete time as well as on continuous time signal. So if we see the effects individually, then in case of continuous time signals, you have written that if there is any signal, let it is your signal x of t, which is existing from -2 to +4 with respect to t, this is signal x of t that is having value let 10. Then if you define all the properties, if you have to find out the area, then area of this signal x of t, that is a rectangle, is here the time width is 6 and height is 10. Therefore, this area of the signal x of t is going to be 10 into 6, that is equals to 60 square units. Now, if you see the duration of existence, overall duration of existence, you will see that if width of this signal is x of t, the width of x of t is w is equals to 6. Now, you have told that if you are going to time scale this signal, then you are going to define x of alpha t for this given x of t. Then what you all have to do is just to divide these existing limits from the scaling factor alpha. Therefore, you have obtained two signals. Let you are obtaining first x of 2t, and if you plot another signal, that is with respect to t only, you are plotting x of t by 2. So in each case, if you see here the scaling factor alpha is 2, therefore you have told that the value will be get divided by 2 scaling factor, that is 2 by 2 minus 1 and 4 by 2 plus 2. Therefore now this signal will be existing from t is equals to -1 to +2 and the value will remain same, that is 10. Again, if you have to find x of t by 2, that is now scaling factor is 1 by 2. So if you divide these limits by 1 by 2, then ultimately you will be multiplying these limits by 2. Therefore, the signal will now be existing from t is equals to, it is -2 into 2, that is -4. The signal will start from -4 and this point will be 4 into 2, that is equals to 8. So now this signal will be existing from -4 to 8, having the same value, that is 10. So now if you see the areas, then if you see area of the signal x of 2t, then it is going to be width -1 to 2, that is width is 3 and height is 10. So the area is equals to 30. In this case, if you see the area of this function, which is again a rectangle having width -4 to 8, that is 12, and height is 10, therefore 10 into 12, area of this signal is going to be 120. So what you can conclude is, if x of t is having an area A, then area of x of alpha t will get divided by that scaling factor alpha. So you can say that if area of x of t is equals to A, then area of x of alpha t is going to be A upon alpha, which can be satisfied using these two also. Here the scaling factor is 1 by 2, therefore area get multiplied by 2. Here the scaling factor is 2, therefore area get divided by 2, that is 30. So if you see here, that area gets changed due to the change in width of the existing signal. Here the alpha is greater than 1, in this case alpha is greater than 1, therefore you can see that the compression has taken place, and in this case alpha is less than 1, therefore expansion of signal is taking place. In case of discrete time signal, what you have said that in case of discrete time signal, if you have given any signal x of n, let it is 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Let it is your signal x of t having origin as 12. Then if you have to find out any scaled version, that is time scaled version of x of n, then if you have to find x of 3n, then we have seen that to find x of alpha n, where alpha is greater than 1, we have to skip samples in between, because the number and the value of n will not be integer at some points, and those value will get eliminated from the signal x of n, and the remaining portion will be obtained as x of 3n. So to find x of 3n, we have seen that we must have to start from the origin value. Origin will be maintained at the same value, and after origin you have to move on either sides by skipping samples. How many samples will get skipped? If it is x of alpha n, then alpha minus 1 samples you must have to skip. In this case alpha is 3, therefore you must have to skip 2 samples. Therefore after 12 you will not be taking these 2 samples, and the next sample value will be 18. And after 18, as there are no samples given, therefore it will be no values after 18. Similarly, before 12 you will have to skip these 2 values, and the next value will become, that will be 6. Now after 6 there will be again 2 values will get skipped, and as there is only 1 value, so before 6 there will not be any sample, and it is your signal x of 3n. Similarly, for any given value of scaling factor which is greater than 1, if scaling factor is greater than 1, then you must have to skip alpha minus 1 value. Similarly, if you have seen that if we have to find x of n by 5, so it is of the case here alpha is equals to 1 by 5. So 1 by 5 you have written it like 1 by k. So if alpha is of the form 1 by alpha 1 by k, then you must have to append values. How many values? K minus 1 values will get appended in between each two samples values of x of n, and it depends on which type of interpolation you are going to take. If you are going to take zero interpolation, then the values that will be appending in between two terms will be zeros. Otherwise it can be unity, it can be average value, it can be average of two consecutive samples also. So if you are taking zero interpolation, then you will implement 0. Otherwise what you have to do here again, you will be maintaining the value of origin, and then after origin you have to take here alpha is 1 upon k and value of k is 5. So you have to skip, you have to append 4 values between each two samples of x of n. It means in between 12 and 14 all the samples will be contained in x of n by 5 only. But now you will have to append 4 values in between 12 and 14. So there will be 4 star marks 1, 2, 3 and 4 before we write the next value, that is 14. Similarly, between 14 and 16 again you will have to append 4 star marks, that can be any value of 0, 1 or average, and then you will be taking your next value 16, similarly 4 star marks, and then you will be taking 18 and so on. Similar procedure you will have to take here also, as we are not having much space, therefore I am just taking one more value, and it is understood that before that what values will be coming. So before 12 next value will be 10, and in between this 12 and 10 we have taken 4 values, that can be any one of the 0, unity or average values. So similarly this signal will be like this. So in case of interpolation you must have to append values, in case of decimation you must have to skip values in between two samples. So now if you define area of x of n, what is the area of x of n? Area of x of n, that is summation of x of n from minus infinity to plus infinity, that is whatever values are having in x of n, you must have to take sum of all of these values. So if you see here, the total area of x of n signal is 4 plus 6, 10 plus 8, 18 plus 10, 28 plus 12, 40, 54, then 70 and then 88. So area of x of n signal is 88. Now you don't have any such relation for area as you are having in case of continuous time signal. See, we have to check the differences between operations, time scaling operation, whenever we perform on a continuous time signal and on a discrete time signal. So in case of continuous time signal, there is a certain rule between the areas of x of t and x of alpha t. That is, the area of x of alpha t would be a upon scaling factor alpha, but no such relation exists for discrete time signal as we have decimated that. So in case of this discrete time signal, you can see a is equals to x of n, that is 88, but if you see here area of x of 3n, then it is equals to what? Sum of all the samples of x of 3n, that is 6 plus 12, that is 6 plus 12, 18 plus 18, that is 36. So you cannot take any direct relation between areas. You cannot say that 88 divided by 3 will give the area of x of 3n, right? Now in case of interpolation also, as all of these samples of x of n are contained in x of alpha n also, where alpha is less than 1 now. So area of x of n by 5 is definitely going to be greater than area of x of n. In magnitude I am talking, because all of these sample values are still present in this signal and you are appending some more samples in between them. If you are taking zero interpolation, then the area of x of n and area of x of n by 5 would be same, as no non-zero values are added. But if you are taking unity interpolation or you are taking average interpolation, then the total area may get changed. So in zero interpolation, if we are taking area of x of n by 5, then you can say that this area will be equals to x of n in case of if zero interpolation is there. If we are taking zero interpolation, if you are taking zero interpolation, then there will not be any change in area of the signal x of n. But if other than zero interpolation we are taking cases of either unity interpolation or average interpolation, and if the average of signal is other than 0, then definitely the area of x of alpha n would be other than area of x of n. So what you can see here, if you see for this signal x of n, from where to where in case of n it is existing, let it is for n equals to 0, then minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. It is n is equals to minus 4, the value is n equals to minus 4, at n equals to minus 4, the value is 4. Here 1, 2 and 3, it is the point of n equals to 3. Now you see here that x of n is existing from minus 4 to 3, that is the total duration if you see, or the number of samples if you see, number of samples in x of n. If you talk about number of samples in x of n, then we have seen that how we can define number of samples in a discrete time signal. If you say that the signal is existing from n1 to n2, what are n1 and n2s? n2 is the rightmost limit and n1 is the leftmost limit. If you have the points n1 and n2, values of n1 and n2, then total number of samples x of n is what? It is given as n2 minus n1 and plus 1. So in this case, the number of samples in x of n would be 3 minus of minus 4 and plus 1, that is equals to 8. So in x of n there are 8 samples. Similarly, if you see the number of samples in x of 3n, so number of samples in x of 3n is what? It is existing from, it is n equals to 0 point, it is n equals to minus 1 and it is n equals to minus 2. So this signal is existing from minus 1 to 2, that is, it is your n1 in this case and it is n2. So number of samples would be n2, that is minus 2, minus of, it is not minus 2, it is plus 2, plus 1. N is equals to plus 1. Here n is 0, n is plus 1, n is minus 1. So n2 is 1. So it would be, number of samples will be n1 minus of n2 and plus 1. It is 1 plus 1, 2 plus 1, that is equals to 3. So you can see here also, number of samples in this point, in this signal is 3. So we can see here that after decimation, number of samples are getting reduced. And in case of interpolation, if you see, then number of samples in x of n upon 5. How many samples are there? If you see, we have just taken the case up till 10. Before 10, there would be 4 star mark, then 8, then 4 star mark, then 6, then 4 star mark, then. So we can conclude, we can find out the number of samples of x of n by 5 also. So we have seen that in case of discrete time signal, if it is a continuous time signal, then after time scaling, area changes. First point, area changes, either it is continuous time signal or discrete time signal. Only in case of zero interpolation the area will remain same, otherwise the area will be changing. Again, if you see that absolute integrability condition, absolute integrability or summability, so if the signal was earlier integrable, absolutely integrable, or in case of discrete time signal, if it is absolutely summable, then after performing interpolation or decimation or time scaling, the signal that you are going to obtain is again going to be absolutely summable only or absolutely integrable as it was earlier. If it was not earlier absolutely integrable, then after time scaling again it will not be absolutely integrable. So you can say that these properties are maintained. These properties are maintained. And now if you see the time width, or you say number of samples in case of discrete time signal. In continuous time signal we term it as time width, in discrete time signal you term it as number of samples. So these are again going to be changed. These are going to be changed. So these are the effects of time scaling operation. And now we are moving to our next operation, that is the last operation, time reversal, and after that time reversal we will be taking combined operations on continuous as well as on discrete time signal. So if you see the next operation, that is fifth operation, time reversal operation. So in time reversal operation you can consider it as a special case of time scaling also. We are again going to discuss this operation simultaneously, but at first we are taking continuous time signal. So for given x of t, you have to find x of minus t. So if you see here, you have defined time scaling in which you have to find x of alpha t. If you compare here x of alpha t with x of minus t, it means you can say that it is the special case of time scaling where scaling factor alpha is what? whereas scaling factor alpha is what? -1. So how you time scale any continuous time signal? You divide the existing limits from a scaling factor, and now if the scaling factor is 1, then in whatever number you are going to divide by -1, it will only change the polarity of that number. That if you are dividing -4 divided by -1, then it will get +4. If you divide +4 divided by -1, then it will become -4. So this time reversal, what does it imply? It implies that if you are going to take time reversal on any signal, then you just have to fold your signal, fixing your y-axis fixed, just x-axis will be shifted. It means that to understand properly, let it is your any signal x of t. Let it is your signal x of t with respect to t. If it is existing from -4 to 10 with having value 2. So if it is x of t, and if we have to find with respect to t only, we have to find x of -t. Then what we have learned till yet, that if we are writing x of -t and if we write -t here, then there will not be any change. It means that the signal x of -t with respect to -t will look like same. If we put x of -t here and we take -t, then there will be no effect on the signal plot. Now we want to take x of -t here, but we want to take t only. Therefore, if this 10 is earlierly it was representing -t. So if -t is equals to 10, if -t equals to 10, then what is the value of t? T is equals to -10. It means after time reversal, if you have to plot, it is the plot of x of t. I just have written minus here just to relate this. So if you want to draw x of -t with respect to t, not -t, we just want to plot it with respect to t. So earlier, if 10, it will be the value of -t, so the value of t will be equals to -10. Similarly, if this point -t, -4 is representing -t, then the value of t will be 4. Either you understand by this method, or you just take the scaling factor and divide the limits from this scaling factor. So this 10 will become -10 and this -4 will become 4. Therefore, the signal x of t is now going to be existing from t is equals to -10 to +4, having same value 2. So how you can find out the time reversal or folded signal, that is x of -t. We have seen the effect when we have changed the amplitude scaling. So in case of amplitude scaling, what we have mentioned, in case of we are discussing amplitude scaling here. Amplitude scaling, you have written that let it is first quadrant, second quadrant, third and fourth quadrant. Then let it is t and it is your function x of t. So you have told that in time reversal operation, this x-axis, you take this x-axis as a fixed one and you just rotate this y-axis. It means you have told that the first quadrant values will get shifted to fourth quadrant and fourth quadrant value will get shifted to first quadrant. That means if any signal will having positive values in this quadrant, then that value will change to negative values. Similarly, second and third quadrant will be shifted or will be interchanged. Now this is the case of amplitude scaling, in which you are fixing this time axis. This axis was fixed and you have rotated this y-axis. Now in case of time reversal, for time reversal, what you have to do, you just have to fix your y-axis. Now you are fixing this y-axis, that is your x of t signal, it is fixed now. It is now fixed. It is first quadrant, second quadrant, third and fourth quadrant. Then after time reversal, what is going to happen is, it is your x-axis, which is usually time. So you are going to shift this x-axis, you are going to fold this x-axis. So all the positive values of x will now be representing the negative values and negative values will now be representing the positive values. So now after time reversal operation, this first quadrant is going to shift to the second quadrant, or the values, if it is having signal having values in second quadrant, then all of that values will come to the first quadrant. Similarly, the shifting in third and fourth quadrant will be occurring. So if you see here, what we have done here, if we have a signal x of t given and we have to find out x of -t, then what we have done is, we have fixed this y-axis, that is x of t, and we have just rotated this time axis. Therefore, all the values that are earlierly occurring on the positive values of t, now this part came to the next side, that is on negative values. Therefore, this signal is existing, that was earlier existing up to 10. Now it will be starting from minus 10, and this part came to the positive side. Therefore, now the signal is existing up to t is equals to 4. So this is your procedure of time reversal, which is going to be remain exactly same for discrete time signals also. So whenever you have to take the time reversal, you just have to fold out your x-axis, that is your time axis. So if you see, let it is your signal x of t, let it is your signal x of t. Let it is any signal x of t which is having values with respect to t. Let this point is minus 2, this point is t is equals to 0, it is t is equals to 2 and it is t is equals to 4 seconds. So if you have to take time reversal on this signal, that is if you have to plot with respect to t, if we have to plot x of minus t with respect to t only, it is x of t and we are now trying to plot x of minus t but with respect to t only. So whatever values are present in the positive half, that will get shifted to the negative half and the negative half values will get shifted to positive half. If you see the shape in between 0 and plus 2, whatever is the shape, now this value is going to contain in the signal x of t minus t in between minus 2 and 0. So if you see, let it is the point of t is equals to 0 and it is the point of t is equals to minus 2. So this value signal was earlier at, let it is this value is 4, let me say this value is minus 2, let it is minus 2. So if the signal was earlierly having value 4 in between 0 and plus 2, then now in between minus 2 and 0, now the value will be at 4. After t is equals to 2 seconds, in between 2 to 4 seconds, signal is having decreasing its value from 0 to what? Let it is minus 2. Similarly, now from minus 2 to minus 4, or you can say minus 4 to minus 2, the signal will be having the same shape, that is it will be decreasing from 0 to minus 2. It is the instant minus 4. Similarly, if you see, signal is going to have increase its value from minus 2 like this. It is your signal x of minus t with respect to t. What we have done here is in between 0 and minus 2, signal, you can say minus 2 to 0, signal is increasing its value. Similarly, now if you see here, it is the point 2. So from 0 to 2, the sample values is going to decrease from 0 to minus 2. Now one more thing that you must be careful about is whenever you are going to apply time reversal. Take a simple example to understand the point. What I am going to discuss is, let you are having a signal x of t with respect to t which is having value this. In between 0 to 2 seconds, if you see that the value is going to be changed from 0 to 2 seconds. If you see here, you can say that the signal is following a straight line in between the duration t is equals to 0 to 2 seconds, and in this duration the slope of this straight line is positive. That is why the value is increasing. So whenever there is a positive slope in the signal and if you are applying time reversal, then definitely you are going to have a negative slope in the resultant signal. So how you can satisfy this result? If you are going to take time reversal on this signal, it is you are now plotting x of minus t with respect to t. So what will be the signal? As the signal is increasing in between 0 to plus 2, now this signal you are just folding this. So now this signal will be like this in between minus 2 and 0. This point became minus 2, it is again t is equals to 0. Now if you see that if you move towards left, now the values are decreasing. It means now if you see, the signal is again following a straight line in between minus 2 and 0, but now the slope of that straight line is decreasing. So whenever you will be performing time reversal operation on any continuous time signal, then the slope will change its polarity. If the slope was earlier positive, then it is going to be negative after time reversion, and if it was earlier negative, then it is going to be positive after time inversion or time reversal. So it is the point. Now if you see these operations for a discrete time signal, then more or less similar things you are going to do with that, but we are not having space, so you will be seeing. So now if we have to perform time reversal on discrete time signal, then the same procedure will be there also. In case of discrete time signal, let it is x of n, that is equals to either we can take any value. So we are taking let 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 with origin at 4. So it is your signal x of n, and to find, we have to find for this signal x of n, given signal, we have to find x of minus n. So whenever you have to find minus n, then again what we have to do is maintain the origin at the same value, and whatever values, just because you are just going to fold the signal. If you plot the signal, it is your signal x of n, which is having value 4 at origin, 5 and 6. It is for n values, n equals to 0, 1, 2, it is your signal x of n with respect to n. Next value is, it is 4, 5, 6, 3, then 2 and then 1. So this signal is existing from minus 3 to plus 2. This signal is existing from minus 3 to plus 2 for values of n, and the values of the signal is something like this. So if you have to perform time reversal on this signal, then graphically if you want to find, then you just have to reverse this plot, that is if you have to find x of minus n. Then keeping this y-axis fixed, what you have to do is just fold this x-axis, that is all the value samples that are previously existing for positive values of n, that will be coming to the left hand side, and therefore now the n equals to 0 sample will be maintained at n equals to 0, that is the value at n equals to 0 is again going to be 4. Now after the origin, that whatever will be the values after the origin, now it will come to the left of the origin. So the value before n equals to 0 will be 5, and before this it will be 6. So as it is earlier, it was occurring at n equals to 1, the value 5, now this 5 value is occurring at n equals to minus 1. It is n equals to minus 2. Similarly, after 4 you will be having values 3, then 2 and then 1. It is the values of n 1, 2 and 3. So it is the similar process. Now how can you understand or how can you implement the concepts that you have learned earlier? If you are having value of x of n, then you know that these are the value of signal x of n for n equals to 0, 1, 2, it is for minus 1, minus 2 and minus 3. So if you have to find x of minus n, then again what you are doing is, you are replacing this n by minus n. You are replacing n by minus n. So if you have replaced in LHS, then you must have to replace on RHS also. Therefore, the signal values will be same, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But now it will be represented at different values of n. If we replace this minus n by minus n, then minus n equals to 3, here minus n equals to minus 2, here minus n equals to minus 1, for this minus n equals to 0, here minus n equals to 1, minus n equals to 2. Now if minus n equals to minus 3, then n equals to 3, minus n minus 2, then n equals to 2, n equals to 1, it is n equals to 0, n equals to minus 1 and n equals to minus 2. So if you have to plot the signal, then you will be taking these values only, but now 4 will be maintained at origin. Now this 5 will be occurring at n equals to minus 1, as we have seen here, n equals to minus 1, the value is 5. Similarly, this 6 value will be occurring at n equals to minus 2, therefore you have plotted at n equals to minus 2, you have taken the values to be 6. So it is a similar process that we have taken for other operations also, that whenever we are replacing, then you must have to replace on both the sides. So in this operation, if you see, if we are having this x of t signal, as we have seen earlier, that if x of t is something like this, like let with respect to t is your signal x of t having value 10. So area of this signal, if it is existing from t is equals to 0 to 4 seconds, then you can see that the area of this signal is equals to 10 into 4, that is 40. Now if you take the time reversal, then you define signal x of minus t. What you have to do is, it is existing in the first quadrant, so these value will come to the second quadrant and the value will be replaced, either you say 0 by minus 1, that is 0 only, and 4 by minus 1, that will be 4. Therefore this signal is existing from minus 4 to 0. Again you can see here the width as well as the value is maintained, therefore the area is maintained. Area is again going to be 40. So whenever you are performing time reversal, then it is not going to affect your area. Again the time width is also maintained, as you are just shifting the signal towards one side to other side. So the time width is not altered, and therefore you can say that the existence duration of signal x of t or x of n is going to be maintained. Similarly, if the signal was earlierly, you can say if it is absolutely integrable, then after time reversal again it is going to be absolutely integrable. In case of discrete time signals also, you can see here, if you can calculate the area of x of n. Area of x of n is what? Sum of all the samples of x of n. As all of these samples are contained also in the signal x of minus n without adding or subtracting any other values, therefore total sum of all the samples of the signal x of minus n is going to be the sum of all the samples of x of n. Therefore, area is again going to be the same in case of discrete time signals also. So, for this time reversal operation, what you can write it, like you can write that area not changed. Area will not get changed due to this operation time reversal. Again absolute, again if you write absolute stability, integrability or summability, then again these values will be maintained, that whenever whatever signal was earlier, it will be maintaining its property maintained. So, it will be maintained. Again width, time width, either you say time width in case of continuous time signal, or you say number of samples, number of total samples in case of discrete time signal, then these are also not going to be changed, that is remains same, remains same. So, the effect of time reversal is only going to be on the duration of existence. Duration of existence will be changing, but the time width or the number of samples or the area or absolute integrability or summability will be maintained as that of signal x of t or x of n. So, we have now seen all the 5 basic properties. First we have written, so we can write down once more that whatever properties we have taken till now. First property for given x of t or for given x of n. In case of discrete time signal, first we have taken amplitude scaling, then we have taken amplitude reversal, then we have taken time shifting, then time scaling, and then we have seen time reversal. So, in case of time scaling for given signal x of t, what we have to find is k times x of t or k times x of n. And effect of this property is, if you are multiplying the amplitudes, then area changes. Due to this property, area changes because there are change in amplitude. Whenever there is change in amplitude or there is change in existence duration, then or you say the time width, then the area is definitely going to be changed. Next we have taken amplitude reversal. Amplitude reversal means for given signal x of t, you have to find minus of x of t, or for x of n you have to find minus of x of n. So, whenever you are, again it is a case of, you say amplitude scaling where amplitude scaling factor is -1. So, in this case also the area changes sign, but not magnitude, only the sign of the area will get changed. That is, if the area was earlierly existing on the positive values of phi, then now the area will exist for negative values of phi. But we have seen that what is the meaning of negative area? Physically area can never be negative. In this operation area changes, but all other thing will be maintained same. In time shifting we have seen that x of t will be given to us and we will have to find x of alpha t, where this alpha can be greater than or less than 1, and depending on the values of alpha you have, it is for time shifting. If you are writing, then for time shifting you are going to find x of t plus or minus t naught, or in the discrete case you are going to find x of n plus or minus n naught. In this case we have seen that we just have to shift our signal x of t or x of n towards left hand side or right hand side only. In case of advancement you shift the signal towards left, in case of delay you shift the signal towards right hand side. So, only the existence duration will be changing, but not the area or the number of samples or the time width. Each of these things will be maintained, only duration of existence will be changing. duration of existence changes. Other things will remain same, that is area will remain same or absolute integrability will remain same, overall time width will remain same. In case of time scaling, you will have to find x of alpha t, that we have discussed that alpha can be greater than or less than 1 depending on the values of alpha. Compression or expansion of signal will be taking place. In case of discrete time signal also, you write x of alpha n, but here we define the case of decimation and interpolation. If you have to decimate, then skip alpha minus 1 samples. If you have to interpolate, then in that case alpha is 1 upon k and you will have to append k minus 1 values in between each two sample values of x of n. So in these two cases, area changes. Area changes due to what? Because the total time width is changing, and that's why the effect is area will get changed. Area changes, total time width will also get changed, time width will also get changed, or in case of discrete time signal, this time width is identical to number of samples. So in case of time scaling, what will be changing is area and time width will be changing, and all other parameters remain same. In case of time reversal, you are going to find x of minus t or x of minus n, and for this operation only again the existence duration of existence will be changing, duration of existence will be changing, other things will be remaining same. So if we want to perform these operations, so first two operations are related to amplitudes. It can be performed on real time signals also, but these operations are related to time. So these operations can be performed only on the recorded signal. What is the significance if you are saying that time scaling, if you are doing time scaling, if you have compressed any signal, it means that if any signal was existing for a duration of 10 seconds and if you have scaled it by 2, then now it will be existing only for 5 seconds. It means that if you have a recorded video, that like if you will be getting this video that I am recording here, so that will be a recorded video. Let a lecture of 30 minutes you are having, then on applying time scaling, if you want to see this lecture at 2x speed, then it is nothing but the example of time scaling. If you are seeing my lecture at 2x speed, then the 30-minute lecture will be ending in 15 minutes. It means you are going to compress the duration of existence. Similarly, if you are taking time reversal, it means if I am just whatever I am saying, you will be getting these things in the reverse order. Like if I said like, then I have told like from like, but if you have taken the time reversal, then that operation will read this word starting from e, then k, then I, then n. So it will be the time reversal operation. Similarly, time shifting, if you are shifting any recording signal in time, these operations can be performed only on recorded signal.